What's going on? Welcome to Asian Cosell. So in my career series, right here, another video by K Explorer, and yeah, he interviews a couple in Korea. So a Black American woman and a Korean guy. So let's listen in and find out.
Or a Tinder couple.
Yeah, I was a right swipe.
Can you remember the first message your husband sent to you?
It was something like, "What's good? What's up? What's happening?"
We've been an interracial couple,
Mhm.
and we've been, like a woman of color.
Mhm.
How like is the society, like treating you guys like so far?
When I tell my friends or people around me like we're international couples, and they automatically think they don't expect her to be a black.
Introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Janae. I'm from the United States. I've been living in Korea for 4 years. I'm 32.
What part of America are you from?
I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
My name is Juan. I'm from Seoul, Korea, but I went to live in the United States for a couple of years.
How long did you live in the United States for?
Went high school over there, so and 2 years of college, so like 5 years.
What part of America did you live in?
Arizona.
I can see you guys are a couple. You're married. Can you give us like a brief backstory as to like how that happened?
Well, we met on dating app. Initially, like both of us were like wanting serious relationships. So when we first met each other and matched on Tinder, we made it clear at the beginning that this is something we were wanting to do, like looking for someone to connect with long term. And from there, we met, we text for like a week, and then we ended up meeting up because this was at the beginning of the month. So by the end of the month, we like started dating seriously.
So you guys are a Tinder couple.
Yeah, I was a right swipe. He was a right swipe.
And what attracted you to Janae that you actually swiped right to?
She looked cute, and I really like chatting with her. I could feel the instant chemistry.
Can you remember the first?
Because that's another thing, because I'm not fluent in Korean. And so when I continued to swipe, I saw his pictures. I was like, oh, he's cute. So we matched, and he messaged me. It was something like, "What's good? What's up? What's happening?"
I try to be funny. It's just I don't know. I don't know.
All in one
Oh,
sentence.
God.
That is-
And so I was like, oh, okay, he can speak English. That caught me by surprise. It made me laugh. I mean, it was a little corny, but I loved it. So I was like, cool.
So like, what was the the deciding factor that you swiped right to? Because like Madam Sok, like wasn't him.
Right, exactly. So when I continued to swipe and I saw his other pictures, I was like, oh, okay, he's cute. He had like some facial hair, he had earrings. And so like, I think that he was attractive, and that helped me be even more attracted to him, because that's not like typical what you would see within Korean style. And so, yeah, I was like drawn to just how different he looked than typical what I see here from guys.
And you said you guys have been married for how long now?
Yeah, so about 10 months now. So just at the beginning of the year in January, we
Okay, so yeah, and yeah, I think he played it right because Juan, he is lived in the States, like over 5 years, so he kind of knew what to say. I think I probably would have came out that way too. Hey, what's up? What's keeping? What are you up to? But yeah, and she from Atlanta, Georgia. Just to talk because I've been to Atlanta, Georgia, because my uncle lives there. Yeah, it's actually for those that don't know about Atlanta, Georgia, or like the suburbs of Georgia, it's the second biggest like Korean population there too. So on top of the ATL, yeah, there's lots of Koreans that live there. But yeah, she matched the guy from Arizona. So if you guys don't know, yeah, he's like like hottest place in in the Southwest United States. So let's listen some more.
got it married, and we're still planning for our wedding. That's going to come.
What made you decide that like Janae is the one for you?
It's hard to find a girl like her. I had a moment of realization, oh, it's just the one.
When you told your family about the news, how did they react to it?
So when I first told my mom I was dating someone, she didn't take it seriously. She was like, okay, whatever. Like, she was like, yeah, you've been dating people. Like, she didn't think it was anything serious. But then, like, when time went on and I was like, Mom, this is serious. Like, Mom, like, we're talking about marriage. And she was like, oh, okay, cool. Then have some grandbabies. So she was like encouraging it, like wanting me to like settle down and things and have grandbabies. So yeah. So when I told my family, like, they were very receptive when they realized how serious I was, or we were.
And how did the family react to it?
My parents, I guess they're not as conservative as typical, I guess, old school Korean parents, because my sisters are married to also American. So yeah, they were cool about it. Like, they were the first one to tell me, like, hey, bring her to the house during a holiday, Chuseok, like, yeah, stuff like that.
It was his mom that initiated, like, when she found out he was dating someone, and then when she found out that I wasn't Korean, that just made her more interested, I guess, and more intrigued. So she did initiate, like, okay, bring her over, like, we want to meet her. And this was at the beginning of the relationship too. So
Although, like you've had experience in like living abroad, like during your childhood and all that, like, would you say like that is one of the deciding factors that your parents were actually more open for you to marry a foreigner?
I still can't find my site, even on page 5.
Sorry,
Wait,
guys.
Summer shows me exactly which key.
That's a good question. I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe, yeah, maybe that has something to do with it. Yeah, but I guess my parents typically more open-minded.
Like before coming to Korea, I'm pretty sure like you did not know about the Korean culture and all that, and you were actually going to get married to like a Korean. What was the deciding factor of like, okay, you want to, like be in this culture, you want to, like just meet someone like, out here?
yeah, so like like my plan was never to meet anyone. Like, I never expected this at all. So I initially came here because I visited for because I have family that lived here. I'm in the military, so I came to visit them for a week. And so from that first visit, I just like realized just like how safe I felt in this country. And like, even though I didn't know anything about the culture, the language, or anything like that, like I realized like, okay, I feel so safe. I need to live here. And then it got to a point where, like, as I was getting older, like, I wanted to settle down. So the fact that we met here, that was so unexpected for me. And yeah, to me, it was just meant to be.
Were you worried about like any cultural differences that you guys may have while meeting your wife?
No, if anything, I was more positive or excited about the differences because it's a new experience, So
Yeah, and another thing is like, yeah, his family's kind of open. Like he said, his sister's married to an American, so yeah, this now became pretty much a multicultural family. So both us, the brother and sister, are married to a American. So yeah, so things are just opening up, and yeah, there is that old school, like it's got to be Korean, and you have to marry this. But those days are starting to disappear as much in Korea because yeah, it's to the point now. Yo, like the parents are now just like, yo, I'll be happy the kid just gets married and then have children. That's pretty much what it is, the nuclear family, and these days, sorry, the problem is kids, yeah, just gonna kind of go their way and just do whatever. So yeah, this is a different generation right now in Korea. So yeah, not all of it is like completely like old school, like it has to be, but no, it's starting to kind of dissipate and go in ways, it is now. So let's continue.
if anything, I wasn't really worried, or I was excited actually.
Do you get along well with your in-laws?
Yeah, they're so welcoming. They accept me, like, they're so welcoming. Yeah, they're so nice. They're so cool.
And have you tried your in-laws maybe like food?
Yeah, I was pretty familiar with all the food, but like for the first time I tried like a Thanksgiving food.
Do you get along well with your in-laws?
Yes, like, it's truly a blessing. Like I said, I'm not fluent in Korean, but that doesn't stop us from being able to have a relationship. It does like hinder us from going deeper, which is why I'm learning Korean more these days. But as far as a relationship now, because being able to talk with his sister, she's fluent in English. His dad is fluent in English as well. And then mom is learning English. And so that's a great way for us both to practice. So I help her with English and she helps me with Korean as well too.
We've been an interracial couple, and we've been, like a woman of color. How, like, is the society, like, treating you guys, like, so far?
That's a hard question. You want to answer that?
Yeah, okay. So in general, I have a very positive outlook on things, and like I tend to view things with like the rose-colored glasses. So sometimes I'm not aware of things, and like I just live in our own little world. Like we're happy, and like I don't really like we have family that supports us. So I don't really like care too much about like society and how they view us. And then like people stare at me when I'm by myself. But when I'm with him, I don't pay attention. Like he notices it more when we're together, but when I'm by myself, I notice it more. But again, like when I'm with him, I don't care or look at anything else that's going on, kind of. So
When I tell my friends or people around me, like, we're international couples, and they automatically think they don't expect her to be a black.
so once they find out that I'm black, like how do they respond any differently?
I mean, they're surprised, like, oh, okay. They're surprised, and then yeah.
And how is it, like, when you tell your friends or like your American friends back home that, oh, you're actually, like, with an Asian man, your husband's an Asian man, like, how do you react to that?
Yeah, they didn't really have that big of a reaction or response. They just recognized like, oh wow, like because I've been single for so long, and so like, oh wow, you finally found someone. Like she done moved to Korea and then found her man, and so like to them it's like even more exciting and like helping them to open up their mind to like different possibilities.
How many kids do you guys have in mind?
We will see after one. Ideally, it would be two, but we're gonna see how number one goes as far as like the childbirth.
Yeah.
But yeah, we would like to have two.
Yeah. I feel like he has like more to say about that. How many kids do you plan on having?
I told her 3 basketball team, 5 in basketball. Yeah, two sounds good.
Yeah.
More than one kid.
We both come from families with two. He has a sister and I have a brother, so ideally two will be.
Okay, so yeah, it's to the point now. Korea. As you can see, their family is kind of open minded there, and yeah. So it's to the point now. Like just because we have such a low birth rate at 0.6, it's pretty much like just get married, have some kids, if possible, because as we know, we need 2.1 kids to keep the population going. But with Korea at 0.6 now, it's coming really crazy because we're going to need some kids to replace society, or else, South Korea is not going to exist. By 2100 year or whatever. So, we'll be dead by then, but, it could, the society could really disappear. And of course, there's all kinds of programs like, okay, if you have kids, but yeah. But no, this was a nice review by K Explorer and this international couple, and of course, and she is a Black American woman living out there and living her life with her husband and his coat. So, yeah. So it's not a big deal anymore, like in Korea, where it's like, oh my goodness. No. And sometimes we don't even blink an eye. It's like, for me, I don't blink an eye because, I'm used to this. And as you can see by her reaction from her friends, they're like, oh, cool. Because in America, we're used to this stuff. But, in Korea, a lot of people are not used to it. But it's slowly moving in that direction. So, yeah. All right, if any of you enjoyed India's content, please give me the HKO special. Help the king out. Hit the like, subscribe, and comment. And wherever you are, stay safe, and I'll see you in my next video.